Welcome to the Ferrari stand at the 2018 Paris Motor Show. And the star of the show is this. Well, this and that. This is the SP1, that's the SP2 Monza. And they're part of a whole new series that Ferrari is launching called the Icona series. So these are going to be limited production cars celebrating the history of Ferrari. Now, they're going to produce, they've said today, 499 of these. I think the split is sort of, it depends on what customers want. The lucky few who have chosen to be able to own one, each one's going to cost around about £1.5 million. So what do you get for that? Well, the cars are fundamentally based on the 812 Superfast, which is just over here. So you've got a wonderful engine underneath that, the 6.5 litre V12. They've actually increased power very slightly, so it's up to 810 PS from 800. And torque has increased very, very slightly as well. The bodywork and the styling, though, I think is the big thing with this car. So it's a very, very pure look. The Monza name that this is harking back to, it's interesting because the original Monzas, the 750 and the 860 Monza of the 1950s were beautiful cars, but of course they were four-cylinder cars. So they had this very clean look to the bonnet, because whereas the V12 cars had downdraft carburetors in the middle of the V, so they had the bulge in the bonnet being four cylinders, the 750 and 860 had side draft carburetors and therefore had the clean look to the bonnet with the sweeping down nose that we have here. It's an overall cleaner look compared to the other cars, less fussy I suppose, and to my eyes, very, very beautiful. They say they've got these big carbon fibre clamshells, and you can see the tonneau cover around here that's then split from the main body. It also gives this amazing rear light that goes all the way around at the back. So what are these cars going to be like to drive? Well, I mean, obviously that amazing sound is going to be that much more incredible because it will open to the air. There's no windscreen, you might notice, in front of the driver, so they've created what they're calling is a virtual windshield, which fans of the Renault Sport Spider might remember. So you basically push this air up in front of you to try and deflect all sorts of stuff away from the driver. A few other figures to add into that driving experience: 0 to 62 miles an hour in 2.9 seconds, 0 to 124 miles an hour in 7.9 seconds. And the top speed, well, that's slightly reduced because you've got no windscreen. So that's, they're saying, in excess of 300 kilometers an hour or 186 miles an hour. Oh, and the weight, by the way, as you'd expect, pretty light. 1,500 kilos dry weight for the SP1, 1,520 kilos for the SP2. Both cars are sitting on 21-inch wheels, and they're saying that the suspension is going to be slightly stiffer, so there's going to be almost no roll in them whatsoever. Given the way the 812 Superfast drives, it should be a pretty incredible experience. So, the only question is really, one or two seats? I honestly don't know, really. What would you choose? Let us know. And keep watching Carfection for all the other news from the Paris Motor Show 2018.